Wake up, football fans! It's week 4 of the college football season. We're back for another week of the show. I'm your host, Pearson Lavery.
I'm Easton Hammonds.
And Hayden.
Our good friend Seth, he could not be here due to a prior obligation this evening. So we'll see if maybe he'll be back soon. But Hayden's stepping in on the panel tonight. So
Yep, pretty sad. We're not going to cut to Hayden time today, but we'll just add it into the show.
But you know what? We're excited to have you up here with us.
Oh, I'm glad to be back. It's
Absolutely.
been a lonely couple weeks over on the couch watching y'all.
Well, I hope it's a good show. Hope you enjoy it this evening.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So we're going to start out with a recap of Week 3. So Kansas gets their first back-to-back win since 2009. Second straight win. They beat Rutgers last week. Is Rutgers the worst team in Power 5 conference right now?
They hold the belt right now. It's theirs to lose, I think, and we'll see. Hopefully Rutgers doesn't beat anybody. Then they'll lose their title, but we'll find out.
I can agree. I definitely think that they are by far the worst in the Power 5 conference. I just can't get over how bad we have talked recently about Kansas, and now they're showing out for
The
us.
Jayhawks have proved us wrong these last few weeks.
We tell them to cut their program, and they say, cut your show.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
They showed us.
Yeah.
Well, funny enough, Kansas is actually second in the Big 12 in rushing yards right now. Passing yards, not near as impressive. I think maybe 9th in the conference. But, hey, they can run the ball, see if they can keep it going. So, something a little comical. North Texas beat Arkansas very badly last weekend, 44-17.
Big Suey.
Arkansas did not expect that one. Quarterback for North Texas is from Locust Grove, Oklahoma. Wasn't highly recruited at all. Kind of a small quarterback, but he's really played well.
I got the opportunity to play against Mason in a 7-on-7 passing league. The guy can fling it around. He's good. He's fairly mobile, and North Texas should be very, very excited about him.
7-on-7 passing league.
Big time. It's big time.
Yeah, I played in a 7-on-7 passing league, and I tell you what, I was not slinging around. That's for sure.
Yeah, Mason Fine was not recruited by OU or OSU in his home state, but hey, a few coaches out there might be regretting he's tearing it up. So some first-year head coaches, first year at their schools, Scott Frost, Chip Kelly, and Willie Taggart. Their teams lose again. UCLA 0-3 actually, and there's quite a bit of drama going on with freshman quarterback there. Dad speaking out about not being happy with Chip Kelly. Are there concerns with these coaches?
Not yet. I don't want to overreact after week 3, but maybe Willie Taggart, a little bit of concern there. But I think give them some time, and we'll see how they progress.
Yeah. Well, Nebraska lost to Troy. That was a close one, 24-19. But UCLA losing to Fresno State and Florida State losing to Syracuse. All three of those just not games any of them should have lost. So we'll see how those coaches can get it going.
I want to say this about the UCLA Chip Kelly situation, correct? With the quarterback's father criticizing the coach. Parents need to stay out of sports. They need to let their coaches coach, and they need to let their kids play.
Yeah, tell that to LeVar Ball.
And you get a situation where it's just bad for everybody. It creates a bad culture, and you're going to see the effects of that. Chip Kelly can't coach freely when you got dads up in the stands who remembered what they did in 2A football in high school. I mean, it's just time to let the coaches coach and players play.
Yeah, and that quarterback for UCLA, his name is Norris Thompson Robinson. Excuse me. He was the second-ranked dual-threat quarterback by ESPN coming into this season as a recruit. So, talent there, but we'll see how that goes. Some big-name coaches that have some stuff to work on. So, Wisconsin, they get upset by BYU. That game was 24-21. Can Wisconsin still make the playoff this year with that loss?
I want to say no. I don't think after a loss to BYU there's any chance that they can make the playoff. Mm-hmm. I mean, a Big 12 team can lose to another ranked Big 12 team and not make it, so why should they?
Yeah.
Should they or will they is the question. I think that they're one decent win away from they got Penn State on the schedule.
I'm not exactly sure who they have. But
they're one big win away from the committee, and the pollsters love to have them up there for some reason. I have no idea why they're always so high on Wisconsin. They probably like their quarterback, Trevor Hornibrook. Right?
Yeah,
That's his name.
Lefty out there.
Yeah, lefty quarterback. That's rare. But they like to overrate Wisconsin. So I think that if they run the table from here on out, they probably get in. But I don't think they should.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think if they can win the Big Ten, they're probably in. But that's a tall task. I don't think they can get that done between Ohio State and Penn State out there. Too much. I think they get to the Big Ten championship game, but Ohio State will end up there, win it again. So.
Well, do you think 3 undefeated teams will make it in above them?
I mean, we don't.
Or I guess 4. What if there's 4 undefeated teams?
We don't see a lot of undefeated teams,
right?
But
somebody's gonna stub their toe.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to expect a 1-loss Alabama, 1-loss Oklahoma,
2-loss Alabama.
Yeah, 2-loss Alabama probably
Yeah.
would get in over
Maybe
Wisconsin, but they love Alabama. Even Clemson, they get the benefit of the doubt. But Wisconsin has some work to do. They've dug themselves a deep hole. So LSU, they beat Auburn last week on a last-second field goal. Is LSU legit?
Is Texas back?
No, they're not.
LSU is not legit.
Okay.
I think LSU's legit. That was at Auburn, I believe.
I
right?
think so.
It was at Auburn. It was a good win for them on the road. Always tough to beat a good SEC team. And I think as of right now, still very, very early, but as of right now, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that, yeah, they might be legit. We'll find out, though.
Yeah, I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but LSU, they've looked really good so far. I think there's a lot of talent on that team, and there's just something about them that looks really good. I can't pinpoint exactly what it is, but I like what I'm seeing. So we'll see if they can keep it going. So lastly, from last week's recap, the OU Sooners, they beat Iowa State 37-27, a little closer than maybe us Sooners would have liked to see, but it came out. Did you like what you saw from your Sooners?
I liked what I saw. After losing Rodney Anderson, I was really worried. I was really worried that the Sooners would come out a little sluggish, which they did. They did. Not a huge run game, but they'll get it worked out. And I think
You think they can get it done?
I think they can get it done. I'm not too worried.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the game?
I wasn't as impressed. I thought that we took a major step back defensively, giving up 27 points to a team that's
Definitely
not a very vaunted offense as far as Iowa State goes. But I think they mixed up some looks. They had a good running back, which allowed us to have to try to load the box and leave our defensive backs out on islands. And I think they really exposed us in some matchups. And I don't think it's going to be anything where we can't figure it out going forward. But I think that right now Mike needs to get some things figured out because we took a step back.
Yeah, I really didn't like what I saw from the defense after they looked good, really good the first 2 weeks. I liked what I saw there. And also the run game concerned me a little bit. I think that's not a concern as much as the defense possibly. We've seen bad play from the defense in the last several years. But I think Trey Sermon is going to step up, really be the guy in the backfield. And I think it'll be all right. So I think the Sooners will keep chugging along. So little different thing on the show. We're going to talk about some recruiting. This week, Dax Hill, the top recruit from 2019 in the state of Oklahoma, Booker T. Washington High School in Tulsa. There were a lot of speculation that it was going to be either Alabama, OU, OSU. He ends up committing to Michigan. Did this surprise either of you?
it's a shame, honestly. I mean, everyone expected him to go to Oklahoma State, but I still had hopes in him coming to OU. But I do think Jim Harbaugh just saved his job with this one.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, his older brother Justice is the running back at OSU.
Yeah, I was caught off guard. Michigan definitely wasn't the destination where I saw him. I could have understood him went to Bama. That would have made sense, a safety in that system. I understand why he didn't come to OU necessarily. That's very, very tough to play in the Big 12. It separates the men from the boys, and we see what decision he made. But I got a chance to play against Dax as well. I was a senior and he was a sophomore. We played against Booker T, and very, very good player. And it'll be interesting to see how he does at Michigan. I don't know if he's going to turn Michigan around. It's hard for one defensive player to do that. It's more of a system. But I'm excited, but I very, very caught off guard that he went to Michigan.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Michigan had a top 5 recruiting class before this commitment. He's a top 15 player in the nation. There's a lot of talent at Michigan already. He'll get a lot of playing time, but they haven't been doing a lot with their talent, so I don't really expect it to be a big difference. I don't think they're a huge threat. Until they prove something, I'm kind of out on Michigan for now.
No, it's a shame he went there.
I'm out on
honestly.
Harbaugh.
Yeah,
We've talked
we
about
have
that.
talked about that. Yeah, I would have loved to see him stay in the state of Oklahoma, but hey, it's his decision, so a little surprising. Well, let's go to the Heisman update brought to you by Romines Fitness. Your preseason pick, Will Greer.
Looking good.
He's really looked good.
Good
Is
point.
that still your pick for Heisman at this point?
He's still my pick. Yeah, he's. It's not like he's getting ready to come into a conference that's going to test him defensively. I like the numbers he's going to put up in the Big 12, and I think that he's a win or two here and there from really putting himself in the conversation. As much as I hate to say it, a win over Oklahoma, a win over OSU, TCU, a higher end Big 12 team could really put him in the conversation.
So that win over Tennessee isn't
No,
enough.
No, let's. He needs to get a big win.
Poor Tennessee.
Such a shame.
Yeah.
Such a shame. I'm going to pick Rodney Anderson's out. I'm
Yeah.
going to have to switch. I'm going to have to jump on the Kyler Murray bandwagon.
You're on Kyler, huh?
Yeah, my only problem is he's got to consistently pass for 300 and maybe rush for 100 to even be considered to win it. I just don't see it happening, but it could.
Yeah. Well, compared to Baker last year, through 3 games, Kyler's only 1 yard less than Baker on total yards, and they both have 10 touchdowns responsible for. So
Baker's second game was against Ohio State.
this is true. Yeah, Kyler is not. I'm not trying to say Kyler's Baker Mayfield right now. Don't get me wrong, but hey, I don't disagree with you, Hayden. On Kyler Murray could be a big threat. ESPN has Kyler at number 1 on their Heisman watch after last week. So another one, Tua Tagovailoa. He really has that Alabama offense rolling. Now I know they haven't played anyone good.
And won't for a while.
Can Tua? Is he a threat to win the Heisman?
Absolutely, he's a threat to win the Heisman. Talent-wise, I mean, he's a very, very talented kid. I just don't. I think that he's definitely a threat to win the Heisman. He's a decent player, doesn't play against great competition, other than he has a couple games that are going to test him. But if he can still continue to put up some numbers, you know how they love Bama, and they're going to love to give the Heisman to
Exactly,
the quarterback.
exactly.
Yeah. So absolutely, he's in the run.
A Bama player is always a threat.
Yep, they're always good, and Heisman winners usually come from good teams. So, one that has not done much yet that is an early favorite, Bryce Love. He didn't play last week. He's supposed to be back this week. So we'll keep him on the radar, but he could be blowing his opportunity at this.
Yeah, I was a big Bryce Love fan before the season started. I really thought he was going to do big things. But I decided Rodney Anderson was the choice, of course, and now I'm on someone else. Probably could have went Bryce Love, but
Missing one game
missing
in the
one
Heisman
game
race can
is
be a big
deal.
difference.
Yes, definitely. So
every game matters in your stats.
We're getting ready to see Stanford, Oregon this week, so I think it's really, really important that if he goes out and has a big game here, he's right back in the mix against some good Pac-12 competition. Can put him right back in the conversation. So Bryce is a good game or two away from being right there.
I like what you said about their big game this weekend. It's hard for those Pac-12 schools to get primetime games on big television networks. They play on ABC, I believe, this weekend. That's a way for him to make a statement after missing a game. So it's time for Hayden Time, brought to you by Custom Roofing Solutions. Hayden here, we will give him 3 games, give him the spread. He'll pick if the favorite will cover the spread or if the other team will break the spread.
yeah, sadly it was not nice enough outside to go fishing today, so we're stuck inside.
Yeah, chance of rain this weekend. Hopefully we can get some fishing maybe next weekend.
Yeah, hope so.
We'll start out with Nebraska visiting Michigan. Nebraska, we talked a little bit about earlier. They're only 1-1. Scott Frost would have liked a little stronger start. Didn't want to lose to Troy last weekend. But let's see. Michigan, 17.5-point favorite.
Well,
What do you think?
I really picked the wrong team, I think. But this week, I think Nebraska Nebraska's going to take this one. Take the spread. They're not going to win.
Okay. They'll get within 17, though, you're saying.
They'll get within 17.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, I think Frost is a good coach. We'll see if he can get his boys ready after that disappointing loss last week.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
So next, Buffalo at Rutgers. Rutgers coming off a tough loss last weekend at Kansas.
Don't watch this game. I feel
This
bad
is
for
the
everybody.
one. Yeah, take your wives out for
Hey,
this one. Yeah.
last time you told people to take their wives out, they missed a good game.
It was a
Kansas
bad
gotta
game.
win.
Kansas blew them out. It was still a bad game.
Yeah, but you thought it was gonna, you thought it'd go the other way.
I didn't know who was going to blow who out. I just knew it was going to be a bad game. And even if
Okay.
it was close, it wouldn't be a good game.
Well, Buffalo at Rutgers. Buffalo's a 5-point favorite. What do you think here? Buffalo win it by at least 5, or does Rutgers get within that?
Man, we're going to have to go with Buffalo this week.
Ooh, Buffalo.
Rutgers just, they don't have what it takes. They're, like we talked, worst team, Power 5. Well, they're not it.
We have to give Buffalo a little bit of credit because that's where Khalil Mack came from. So,
Yeah.
produced a pretty good pass rusher.
Pass rusher, you.
Yeah, they're hard to find, aren't they, John Gruden? So the last one for Hayden time, Texas A&M at Alabama. Alabama is a 26-point favorite. You picked Ole Miss to not only break the spread last week, you thought they were going to beat Alabama, and boy, was that off.
Well,
No offense.
I'm having flashbacks to last week
Okay.
because watching the show, our good friend Seth said
Yeah.
Ole Miss would be in for the first 5 plays, and boy, was he right.
Mm-hmm.
They were in for the first 1 play, and that was it.
Ole Miss scores quick. First play,
And
that was
then
all she wrote.
That was all she wrote. No more. But I'm going to stick to the trend this week. I think the spread allows Texas A&M to maybe come a little bit closer, but we know Alabama's going to win. But Texas A&M will cover the spread this week. We're just going to have to.
A&M gets within 26 of Alabama, he says.
Mhm.
Yeah, go bet on that game. That's a good game to go bet on.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a
A&M,
generous spread, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
A&M has scored a lot of points so far. They hung with Clemson, so I like your call there. Good quarterback play, good run game right now from A&M.
Well, now it's time for Hayden's Play of the Week, where we have a special play this week. Definitely a special play.
Little different from what you've seen the last 2 weeks.
Definitely different. I've never seen anything like this before. We've got a North Texas man fake a fair catch, basically, and take it to the house. How does the defense let that happen, first of all? Or I guess
I don't know.
the kicking team.
Yeah, it's a special teams breakdown. But, yeah, I still don't get how they pulled this one off. If he ever tries to do that again, he's going to get completely obliterated.
He needs to get
Agreed.
hit anyway. After
Agreed.
That,
I
just to make
think-
Sure. Take
yeah.
the 15.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, someone's going to hit him this week just for doing that.
Yeah, I just don't get how Arkansas fell for that. He clearly didn't wave his hand, didn't call for a fair catch. I just don't understand it, but great play.
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
He does 31 yards here, and that will be appreciated. Oh, a spinner on that. That's a smart play to catch that at the 10-yard line there by Keegan Brewer. So North Texas has come into Fayetteville and shown no
he
signs
never made
of
a fair
Oh,
catch
he did
sign.
make a fair catch signal.
He's gone.
Brewer down the sideline. This is going to be a touchdown. He caught that at the 10. Nobody thought he was going to do it, and he took off.
What a play.
Yeah, what a play.
What a play.
Very impressive. You don't see that every day, do you?
No, absolutely not. It was. I will say that the fair catch rule was designed to protect punt returners, and this guy decided to fake it. That's fine, but get ready to face the consequences. Because I know what I would do if I'm not taking any chances. I'm taking the 15. I'm not going to target, but he's going to get hit. He's going to feel it, and I guarantee he's not going to do that again.
Agreed. I mean, all he does is give a little bit of move down here. Who's paying attention?
Yeah.
I mean, the guys are looking, but they assume he's going to fair catch.
Yeah.
And he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
He's out.
Mhm.
Big time.
Little fun fact, North Texas is the only undefeated team left in the state of Texas in Division I football. So No more undefeated TCU. Texas is not back. Texas A&M definitely isn't back. They're improving.
Whoa.
They're improving.
Wait on
but
them.
hey,
Wait on this Alabama game.
But
You'll be
hey.
surprised.
keep an eye on North
So
Texas.
Texas A&M being back is losing less than 26 points against Alabama.
Yeah.
That's being back.
Yeah,
Hey.
exactly.
Texas A&M never was. A 6-6 season is them being back.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
well, we're going to move on to our Week 4 picks. We're going to start out with Texas Tech visiting Stillwater to play Oklahoma State. Who do you like in this one?
I got Texas Tech. OSU, I'm just getting used to seeing them playing at home. I don't know how they got 4 straight home games. scheduled.
start
That's
the year
great
with 4
scheduling.
straight.
But I got the Red Raiders. I think that I'm just waiting for Cornelius to stub his toe because it's going to happen. That guy, he can't play. And I think the Raiders, their defense isn't very good, but if they can get after him a little bit, he's going to make mistakes. He's going to throw picks, and then that Raider offense, is going to be explosive.
Do you have Tech or OSU?
It's a hard one. I'm on the fence about this one. I think it'll come down to just a couple plays, but I'll take Texas Tech as well.
I also like Texas Tech. This game's bound to be high scoring. That's not only what happens in the Big 12, but especially these two teams. They love airing it out. They both scored a lot of points so far this year. I do think Cornelius at OSU he's looked good so far, but that Boise State defense was nothing too impressive. Neither is Texas Tech's, but I'm not putting all my trust in Cornelius. I even have friends at OSU that they're not sold. They don't know if it'll last. So next, TCU at Texas. Do you like the Horned Frogs or the Longhorns?
I like the Horned Frogs. Texas is not back. TCU, probably the second best team in the Big 12.
I agree.
There's just not a chance that Texas is gonna take them.
What do you think?
I think I saw that Texas is a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, they're
And
favorite.
they're a 3-point favorite. Now they're at home, so basically what Vegas said was this is a pick'em game because they usually give 3 points to the home team. Go load up on the Horned Frogs. Bet against Sam Ellinger every single time the guy can't play. He hasn't been able to play for the last couple years. And go load up your money on the Horned Frogs and take your wife out to dinner because you're going to make some money.
Definitely.
Texas coming off a fairly good win off of a rebuilding USC. They're not as good as they have been the last few years. But every time Texas wins a game they shouldn't win, like they did last week, they follow it up by playing awful. So I'm going to take the Horned Frogs. They looked good against Ohio State last week. Probably should have come out with a win. They fizzled late in the game. Looked good the rest of the game. So Horned Frogs in that one. Florida Atlantic visits the defending champs, Central Florida.
You beat me to the joke.
I'm sorry, Aiden.
Dang it.
I was going to say something.
I was gonna say that too.
So, the Fighting Lane Kiffins are the defending champs.
I got the defending champs after an undefeated season and an uncontested win at the national championship game
Okay.
that they didn't play in.
Yeah. Self-claimed.
Self-claimed, yeah, for sure. But I got them. The Fighting Lane Kiffins, we watched them. They got a quarterback that isn't accurate.
Got kicked off the team here at OU.
That's true. Got a quarterback that can't really play that well. Not a huge run game either. I got UCF.
Okay.
All right, picture this. Lane Kiffin strolls into the stadium wearing his plaid suit.
Uh-huh.
That's what he's going to have on.
Uh-huh.
And he looks and he sees a defending national championship banner signed by former Governor Jeb Bush.
Mm-hmm.
How much more intimidating can you get?
Yeah.
FAU's going to be in their last chance. You guys are going to be shaking in their boots. There's no way they beat UCF at home. There's too much tradition. UCF's been beaten up on high school teams now for the last year. And I think Lane Kiffin and FAU have more problems than Mark Cuban right now. They're in a lot of trouble, and I got UCF in this game.
Well, that's like walking into the Cowboys Stadium and seeing their 1945 National Championships banner.
Same
Woo!
thing, yeah.
Oh, you mean the Oklahoma State Cowboys?
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
those Cowboys.
Big throwback, 1945.
Yeah,
Well, I also...
that's intimidating.
I'm going to take Central Florida in this one. Mackenzie Milton, good quarterback. I think FAU's a little bit better than what they showed against the Sooners, but UCF takes this one. Next, Kansas State at West Virginia. Do you like A.J. Parker or Will Greer in this one?
Oh, you think I'm going to bet against my boy Will? I love AJ.
Absolutely,
Good friend of
absolutely.
mine. Good friend of mine. But you think I'm going to bet against Will Greer? Come on, the guy's got me this far. Absolutely. I'm going with the future Heisman, Will Greer, to win this game at home against K-State.
It's too bad Seth isn't here to argue your Heisman pick again.
Yeah, I know. All Hayden had to do he just had to yell into the mic, give a hot take every 5 seconds, and he hasn't done that so far. So I'd say he's doing a better job.
Oh,
We love Seth.
I'm trying to tone down the volume of this show.
Yeah, trying to be a little bit more civil.
We miss you, Seth. I'm nothing against you. Nothing against you. K-State or West
K-State
Virginia?
or
hurt
West
his feelings.
Virginia. Oh, no. I take no offense.
I would.
It's all right. I'm going to take the Heisman runner-up in this one.
Okay.
Like you said,
Wait, with the runner-up?
yeah, Heisman runner-up.
Oh,
To Kyler Murray.
I hope you're right. I hope you're
Yeah.
right.
Well, for those of y'all that don't know, one of us sitting at the table wasn't a huge fan of Kyler Murray to begin with.
It's not that I was a huge fan. It's like how Thunder fans look at Russell Westbrook. They think that the guy can't ever make a mistake. Kyler's accuracy concerns me a little bit. I think he's extremely mobile. He's fast. He's a fantastic athlete. But I'm worried that in a big-time situation, when the pressure gets to him, I'm a little concerned about his accuracy. And I think if you're having trouble with accuracy against UCLA and FAU, it might go against you when you're playing TCU.
Well, I understand. You like a good pocket passer.
Right.
He was competing with Austin Kendall, who is more of a pocket passer. So,
But Kyler's great.
okay, yeah.
Kyler's awesome.
so you have West Virginia.
So back to West Virginia K-State.
Yeah. Sorry to get off track. I also have West Virginia in this one. I won't elaborate. Will Greer gets him the win. Stanford at Oregon. This is one of the few ranked matchups this week. Do you like the Ducks or Stanford?
I like Bryce Love and the Stanford Cardinal. I think that he has a big game. This is a good time for him. Is it primetime game or late game? Probably a late game.
I think it's a late primetime.
Oh,
actually.
primetime.
Yeah,
They're going to
yeah.
play in primetime. Good.
Late for us, early
Good.
for them, I
Good.
guess.
So you're going to see Bryce Love's breakout game. He's going to put himself back in the Heisman race, and I got the Cardinals with a good road win in Oregon.
Stanford or Oregon?
I'll take Stanford.
Okay.
I don't have any other reasoning. I think that was pretty much well said.
Thanks, bud.
I'm going to take Stanford. They're about as consistent as it gets in college football. A lot of people don't recognize that, but it is rare that they're a more than a two-loss team, maybe three-loss team. I just like Bryce Love. I think he'll have a good bounce-back game after missing last week. And I'm not sold on Oregon. A lot of people like the quarterback up there, but I need to see more. Stanford in that one. So now our favorite game of the week, Army at Oklahoma. Do I even need to ask? Who do you have?
Absolutely not. No, the only question is if we can cover the 31-point spread or not. I don't know. But I think that it's a good matchup for OU's defense. Army, a team that doesn't exactly spread you out, which is favorable to Mike Stoops, to say the least. And I think it's a bounce-back game for the defense. And I think that Kyler and the Sooners offense continue to roll, and I like our chances.
Who do you have in this one?
You already know who I got in this one. I got my boys.
Oh, he's got.
Oh,
taking
whoa!
Army. He's taking Army.
Army.
Oh,
Easy
wow.
choice, huh?
That's a surprise.
What are you doing?
Wow.
I think I grabbed the wrong shirt.
Did you?
Oh, good. Oh!
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
Man.
There it is. He wouldn't betray his boys. He's got the Sooners. I also have the Sooners. I don't know if we'll cover the spread, but
I had the Sooners plus the spread.
you know,
Wow.
I'm big on Curtis Bolton. He didn't play well last week, but against a team that pretty much only runs the ball, I like him.
He's a good matchup.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I like him when he doesn't have to go back in coverage.
Yeah.
So it's time for the Tate Boys game of the week. This week we've got New Mexico State at UTEP. This is the 0-4 versus the 0-3. So who gets win number one, New Mexico State or UTEP?
They're 0-4 against 0-3.
Yeah,
Who has the 3 losses?
UTEP's 0-3.
UTEP has one less loss, so I'm saying that they're going to get the win. I'm calling UTEP, but this is a bad game. Don't watch it. I don't think you can watch it. It's probably not on TV.
I'm not even going to go off football right here. I remember the UTEP fans coming down to Norman a couple years ago. They're all really nice. So I'm just gonna hope the best for them.
It's easy to be humble.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. New Mexico State's closer to a perfect season already, so I'll take UTEP winning, and New Mexico State will go winless this year. That's my prediction right now. Winless New Mexico State. So now to the NFL side of things. Who will be the first NFL coach to get fired this season? Let's start with you.
I have my pick is going to be Bill O'Brien. I think this is his 4th season with the Houston Texans, and to be honest with you, he's surrounded with talent. He had a tough time last year with Deshaun Watson getting hurt, and he had Tommy the Macho Man Savage in, which is a shortcome to anybody. But there's talent around him this year. They're starting out 0-2. I think if a couple more losses here and they're hitting the panic button and Bill's gone, I don't know if he makes it to Halloween, to be honest with you. But I don't think he's a very good coach. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I can see that. There's a lot of talent on that team. Watson's a good quarterback. A lot of talent at wide receiver with Hopkins and Fuller. Lamar Miller's a decent running back. Of course, J.J. Watt, maybe the best defensive player in the league when he's healthy. So I can see where you're coming from.
You been watching Khalil Mack lately?
Khalil Mack's making a good case for that. I wasn't a believer until recently, but what NFL coach do you think will get fired first?
Sadly, and I hate to say this because it's my favorite team, but I think Jason Garrett needs to get fired first. The problem is Jerry Jones loves holding on to things. He loved holding on to Romo, but I mean Romo was a great quarterback.
He loves holding on to those 20-year ago Super Bowl trophies.
Yeah,
he loves holding on to the people that hold on to him.
That's true.
If you say yes to Jerry, you're going to have a job.
I can agree. So I think Jason Garrett's gone, and I think that the OU fans should be worried that Lincoln Riley gets an offer at the end of the season. He better be happy in Norman because he's getting NFL offers.
I don't think we have to worry about Lincoln going to the NFL. He never played in the NFL. He doesn't know the NFL. From what I know, he's very happy right here in Norman. So I'm going to have to – I agree that Garrett might be on the hot seat, but I'm going to put my foot down on the Lincoln Riley thing.
All right. I mean, he's from Texas, so –
He is, but –
it can happen.
He's a college guy.
He's a football coach.
I'm going to go with Jay Gruden as the first coach to get fired this year. The Redskins, they traded for a quarterback in his later years. They should have kept Kirk Cousins around. I just don't think they've surrounded Gruden with enough talent there. There's some washed up players. So I just don't think Gruden's the guy they're going to stick with through a potential rebuild in the near future. And it's been long enough. Gruden's going to get fired. John might not last much longer.
Isn't it his first year as a coach?
No, that's John Gruden.
Okay, see, I'm sitting here thinking, is there 2 Grudens?
Yeah, Jay.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. Jay, I believe, is in year 4 with Washington, and he's getting cut.
I got one more, and I know it's probably seems pretty obvious, but Hugh Jackson, I don't know if anybody's realized this. He's a bad coach. Hugh Jackson's a bad coach.
Hugh stands around during the entire game, doesn't do anything.
Okay.
At least Jason Garrett sits there and claps the whole time, and he's the clapper. But Hugh Jackson, I mean, if you just watch, we just got done watching the game tonight, and it took the guy 3 weeks before he decided to go with Baker Mayfield, and it wasn't even his decision to go with Baker Mayfield. Tyrod got a concussion and it forced his hand. That's the only way Hugh Jackson was able to make a good decision is when somebody got hurt and he had no other choice. Mm-hmm. If it's ever left up to Hugh Jackson's judgment, he's going to mess it up every single time. The guy has no clue. He's 2 and heaven knows
a lot of
now.
losses.
Yeah, the guy just can't. I can't begin. I don't know what John Dorsey's thinking, keeping him around, and I think it's just one bad decision after another. The worst decision was cutting Kajus.
Yeah,
listen here, buddy boy.
Yeah. With a full moon, Juice is
For all you Hard Knocks fans out there.
That was big stuff, and
Juice is a good guy.
Man, I'm missing Carl. I'm needing some financial advice right now. That's for sure. I'm going broke, and I need
to sit with me in my accounting class.
Yeah, he can get you through that. Yeah. Straight A's. But I don't disagree with the Hugh Jackson take, but if he does keep his job, it will be because of Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Came back tonight. He went in the game. I believe they were down 14-0 when he went in. Tyrod Taylor got hurt. Browns get their first win since December. Was it 2017?
Yeah,
Been
yeah,
over six. It's
Christmas
been over
Eve.
600 days.
Christmas Eve. It was Hugh Jackson's first win for the Browns, not on Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
He's only won on Christmas Eve, so he.
There's a stat.
Yeah, there you go. But good for the Browns. Not really good for Hugh. I think I could have coached that game. I mean, Baker, they would have probably won one before because I would have had Baker in before that. But trouble for Hugh. He should get fired. Even if the Browns start doing better, he should get fired. He's that bad.
Happy for Baker. He played well tonight. Hopefully they stick with him. Don't go back to Tyrod because it's Baker time, boys.
He got in on a play that looked really similar.
Yeah.
Or really familiar to something I've seen before. Let's take a look.
Jordan Smallwood to the right, also getting man coverage. 3rd and goal. It's a reverse. Lamb throws it to the quarterback, and Mayfield catches a touchdown pass. And goes sprinting down the field.
Njoku comes in tight in this formation. Looks like pressure off the edge. Little trick play and a throw to Baker Mayfield to tie the game from Jarvis Landry.
Is that Cleveland? What are we calling that one?
It has tied this game.
Yeah, this play sure looks a lot like what OU ran against Georgia in the Rose Bowl, just the other side of the field. So I wonder, maybe Baker called himself. Maybe they never even worked on it.
Baker called his own number. Is that the conspiracy?
He told Todd Haley, "I'm not running your play. I'm calling my own."
That's what should happen. Todd Haley and Hugh, they should be on the first bus out of here. Right?
Yeah.
And Baker needs to just start running the offense.
Possibly the two worst coaches in the NFL right there with Haley and Jackson.
Lincoln Riley needs to be on the phone with Hugh, just holding his hand and telling him what to do the whole time.
Yeah.
That's the only way anybody's going to be successful.
Yeah, Bob Delger needs to take over that team, that's for sure.
Yeah, that offensive line looks great for the Browns.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. They were shaky like old Cornelius is.
They couldn't block me.
Well, that does it for this week on Wake Up Football Fans. We hope to see you back next week for another great week of football.
Awesome. Have fun.
I don't think it was my best work, honestly.
I thought you were good.
I was a little off.